In Q2 of 2025, the Cadillac Escalade grabbed a majority, 46% market share in the full-size SUV, luxury SUV segment. Now, I have as a tester this week to find out, are buyers going off old reputation, or is the new refresh worth it? Okay, so first and foremost, we gotta address the grill, the traditional Escalade grill. I love this version of it, the all black version. Today, as a tester, we have the Sport Platinum version. Now, there is obviously a chrome version of it, and I don't particularly like it. I like the blackout, but that's not very new to Escalade. What is different this year is what's behind the grill and underneath the hood. So we used to have engine choices, right? We used to have the Duramax, the 3-liter Duramax. We used to have the 5.2-liter. That's gone. You don't have choices anymore. You have the 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 that's going to put out 420 horsepower, 460 pounds-feet torque via the 10-speed transmission. In Canada, it's all-wheel drive only. In the US, you can have the two-wheel drive. Two-wheel drive can tow up to 8,100 pounds, and in Canada, it's just shy of 8,000 pounds for the all-wheel drive. Now you can opt for the V-Series supercharged 6.2 liters. That's going to give you 682 horsepower, 653 pounds-feet of torque. And that's the one I wish I could get, actually. But you know what? Even a naturally aspirated V8 over here does a pretty good job. I know it comes with some reputation issues. So the 6.2 liters, we know it's been known for recalls and such. And right now, it hasn't been subject for the Escalade, but I would keep an eye out for that. Now, from the side profile, we can see just how huge the Cadillac Escalade really is. And with a huge luxury vehicle comes big ass wheels. We've got the 24-inch wheels on this one. Not my favorite design. I particularly like the 22s that are all blacked out. It's an option on their website. You can pick and choose whatever you want, which I like because a lot of manufacturers will package in a whole bunch of options. This case here for the Cadillac Escalade is you can pick and choose what you want. I like that. Moving on, I've got 360-degree camera, expected. Power folding mirrors as well. Also, this is new, and it actually wasn't completely functional when they first launched in 2025, but now I have a piece of rubber right behind the handle. I can just press this, and voila, power opening doors with the power floorboards here, running boards, and makes it getting in very easily. And it's not just for the front doors. Back doors also have that feature, and basically anybody can work it. Bam, and you get in, you want to close the door, you have two options. Give it a little nudge, it closes. Yank the handle in here, it closes. You've got to love that feature. I know I do. Over the back end, we have a nice boxy look. Everything is LED, of course. Towing, I've already addressed it. 8,100 pounds if you have the two-wheel drive, and 7,900 pounds if you have the four-wheel drive, which we have today. Also, and I love this, that I'll show you the key fob right here. So I can pop the glass open right here, pressing it twice. Now, people will tell you it just makes it quick and easy to grab something, but I'm 5'9" for reference, and I can barely touch the floor, so keep that in mind. And all the other buttons I have is tailgate opening and remote start, which I love that they're not just going 100% with the remote start through the application. I absolutely love that because applications, they are where they are. But this, I love it because, I got sausage fingers and sometimes I'm always looking for the piece of rubber, and this is just, bam, open it. Now, once you're looking inside, with the seats up, we got 25.5 cubic feet of space. Dropping the seats is as easy. Now, it does have a little bit of room here, but I almost didn't mention it because it's not quite noteworthy of mentioning, really. It's not a lot of space there underneath here. Dropping the seats is as easy as this. You press and hold. There they go. And the second row as well. There they go. Now that opens up to max cargo space of 120.5 cubic feet of space. If the second row would be up, it's 72.9 cubic feet of space. We can actually get a little taste too of how many speakers are back here between here and here. It's got 36 AKG sound system. That is more than what you need. One thing I like about the full-size SUV segment is it's got big openings for the big guy. All right, I'm not tall, but I make up for it in width. Now I already yanked it down. There's a handle here. Pull it down, it lies down flat, and then you pull it again, and look at this. So much space. And with the running boards over here, or the power floorboards, I have easy steps. Now I do have terrible knees, terrible flexibility, and that is key for an accessible third row for grown-ups. Okay, so then I just slam it down, pull it back up. 34.9 inches of leg room. That is more than enough, in my opinion. I am quite comfortable over here. I have a cup holder. I have a USB-C port. Over here, I got a little bit of a window. I like the suede fabric on top and on the sides. Overall, my comfort level is pretty good. Now, when I need to get out, I have a button here. I just press it. And I have, again, a big opening to get out. Now in the second row, even more comfort. Keep in mind, we don't even have the executive package in this one, but we do have 41.7 inches of legroom. I have a nice screen, but to be honest, the only thing I get on there is like vehicle information, and I can plug it an HDMI cable, and then I can stream something. So over down here, I got two USB-Cs and two HDMIs, so each tablet that's sitting in front of you can have independent things to watch or look at. It's fine. I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a USB connection where you can stream your phone while having your phone over there and just have everything there. I think that would be more worth it. Comment below if you agree with me. But the overall level of comfort, captain's chairs, of course, and the seats move forward and aft. So you can choose to give the passenger in the back here a lot of leg room or not so much leg room. This guy over here doesn't really need it so much, so I can be all the way back. I also have tri-zone control, so I got my own HVACs. I also have heated outboard seats and cup holders over here. However, they're all a little bit on the small side, but if you're going to a Timmy's, grabbing a cup of whatever size of Timmy's, it'll fit here no problemo. And I kind of wish that even though the executive package has this, they have powered adjustable seats, I kind of wish that even this segment that they would have power adjustable seat. I figured that for a vehicle whose price for this particular trim is 164,000 Canadian, I think powered outboard second row should be standard. Comment below if you agree, and let's start the revolution. All right, let's go in the front. Now, cue in the majority of the new things going on in 2025. 55-inch display. 33-inch was not big enough. They went up 55. Now, the passenger also has a screen. However, in Canada, I find that to be a little bit useless because again, it's via HDMI. Now in the United States, you have access like to Hulu and other streaming devices that we don't have access to here in Canada. So yeah, you're gonna have to plug in an HDMI again. It's just, maybe they'll get there in Canada. We'll see. But 55-inch screen is a lot. It's a lot. But while I was driving, because I've been driving this for quite a few days now, and it's not distracting. One, that screen, I cannot see it from my perspective, so there's that. Two, I also have a nice heads-up display, and I can just focus on that, and it gives me all the information I could possibly need. The screen works very well. I have, you can see my trip here with my fuel economy. So combined fuel economy is actually 15 liters per 100 kilometers. You can see I'm below that. I did mostly highways. I'd say 388 kilometers. 300 of those kilometers were highway. The other 88 were just city driving. And I'm at 13.3 liters per 100 kilometers. And it's been on idle for some time now during the shoot. So you got to factor that in. So I'm below the estimate of 15 liters per 100 kilometers. Good thing. In the US, it's 16 miles per gallon combined. As far as the gauges, they are highly customizable. I have so many options over here. This is just regular gauge. I have the Google Map gauge. There we go. And then I can also go Android Auto. Now, one thing I like about Android Auto is I can actually use my Waze map and he'll show up over here. So I get big Waze map. That way you have your driver assistance. So you can, when you're using Super Cruise, because Cadillac comes standard with Super Cruise now. Love Super Cruise. It's basically a semi-autonomous level 2 driving on the highways and map roads, which means it's hands-free. You have sensors over here and here, so you can't just take a nap though, okay? So it's hands-free and it'll change lane on its own. Really convenient for long drives. It really changes the whole energy dynamics. You get to your destination with a lot more energy than you would originally. Also, another gauge is the night vision. And night vision, well, that's what it is. It pops out a little screen over here and it gives you a nice little night vision of, you can maybe possibly see critters that you wouldn't see normal aspects of it. But yeah, and then you have your AR camera, so it's gonna basically look at the nice scenery that we have over here. I like this. I think it's kind of cool, but I think you might be caught looking at it too much. But it's front facing, so there's that. So lots of options here for gauges. I'm just going to run the traditional gauge, and because I think that when you have your maps over here via Android Auto, because this has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it's big enough, right? You get a massive screen. It's so big. Also, wood trim here, pretty good. And everything responds really well with the screen. So this is actual wood with some kind of glossy fabric on top of it. And then you move down here. So over here is, I want to say, like your remote control, your control panel for a lot of settings. So HVAC is here. You also have your seat control. So we have heated and ventilated seats in the front, as well as massage functions. You can have so many kinds of massage: roll, knead, wave, relief, glide. Currently it's on relief while I'm talking to you, and you have the passenger as well. So both massaging seats, pretty cool. Positioning, you can change your positioning. Now it's 20-way adjustments for these front row seats. I think that's plenty. That's more than what you need. You know, they're comfortable seats, beautiful fabric, really plush seats, not as hard as some of other GM's seats are usually a little bit more firm. This one's a little bit more plush. I like it. And you have also all these other controls here. So doors, windows, universal. And yes, if you want to know if I can open doors from this panel, I certainly can. That's my door. I click, I swipe. There you go. I can just get out that way. And again, press, swipe down, it'll close. You can do that for all 4 doors. Very convenient. Glove box as well. There you go. It pops open from the screen. Not everybody's going to like that. That's kind of a Tesla thing. It came out as a Tesla thing. But yeah, just push it back up to close it. Wireless charger over here. Now, the fact that this is over here makes it cumbersome because I have a USB-C port back here, which you probably can't pick up with the camera. And you have another one back here as well. So I have 2 USB-C ports, and I do have a room here for if I want to put my device that way. It kind of conceals it with if you were to plug it in with the cables and stuff. Take your device, put it there, and it's a rubber pad. But your wireless charger's here. Very convenient for that. Big gulp cup holders, and you can actually put a device in there as well by pushing this down here. A little bit of chrome accents, and then piano black. So I'm not a big fan of piano black. You do have the wheels, so I think that's kind of convenient that I can use the wheel or its touchscreen. That's cool. And I have my basically my quick touch. So home, music, navigation. Everything is okay except for the use of piano black. Maybe some more of that wood trim or some other kind of trim I think would have been appreciated. I'd also have a large rubberized storage here. I put my sunglasses here, and you can actually fit maybe like 3 pairs of sunglasses. It's pretty deep. So I like that it's rubberized though. And I also have a massive center console with USB-A, USB-C, and 12 volt. All in all, when we're coming to the steering wheel, this is a little bit more touch capacitive kind of buttons. They're okay. I got my heated steering wheel. I got my Super Cruise button. I got all my advanced cruise control buttons over here. The L over here is for low gear. So you see I have paddles. They only work when you go into low gear and at low speed. So the paddles not really being utilized here in this vehicle, in my opinion. Otherwise is, again, your Super Cruise is going to light up green, tell you that it's functioning, and blue when it's working on it. Up here, I also have, obviously, my panoramic sunroof controls, but also I have my trunk opening, which is weird because usually I'm used to seeing it over here, but it's over there now. And I have this seat, basically, if I want to drop some seats and adjustment I can make to the second row. It's up here. I think that's cool. I actually didn't really think of that, but I like it. And over here, I have all my 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, and my drive mode. So if I'm going to the screen over here, I press the drive mode button that's on the side here. I got sport, off-road. Are you really going to take your Escalade off-road? That's a question. Tow haul mode and my mode that you can just basically customize here. You want your steering, you want a sporty, or you want touring, your suspension, and your engine. Yeah, overall, this is pretty straightforward. I like to have a button, and I have my air suspension. So this does have air suspension, and it has magnetic ride control as well. On magnetic ride system, basically what it does is it scans the road ahead of you at 1,000 times per second. It scans the road, so it's kind of like a adaptive dampers, but preemptive adaptive dampers. It scans the road ahead of you, and it gets that suspension ready for an ultimate comfort of a ride. And that's basically it for the interior. And now I'm going to take you for a drive. Naturally aspirated V8 power. Let's kick it. Oh, yes! Yep, 420 horsepower. You can feel it, but you don't feel it too much. So I'm in sports mode right now, and what surprises me is that even with those 24-inch wheels, driving down this winding, rough Quebec road, because they're known to be full of potholes and stuff, and actually have a huge bump coming up. Let's see how it takes it in sports mode. Barely felt it in sports mode. That is crazy, right? So the magnetic system they have with the air suspension they have, it's doing such a good job. It's very surprising. Now I'm going to switch back to, let's go back to touring mode. And then you can see here on the green indicator telling me that it's bringing up a little bit the air suspension, so giving it a little bit more clearance, a little bit more room also for the suspension to do its thing. And cornering with that is still not bad. I'm in touring mode right now, or normal mode as I like to call it. Sharp curve up ahead, and I got some body roll, but it can still corner pretty fast. Wow. So the amount of control you have in the Escalade is really good. It maintains that contact patch really well. In sports mode, even more so. But even in touring mode, yeah, you got more body roll in touring mode than you would in sports mode, but it's to give you that extra comfort. And you don't buy an Escalade to race around the street unless you're buying the V series. But I mean, this is not a V series, and it definitely offers you that. I have all the comfort I could ask for, and especially on those long road trips. Super Cruise is my favorite level 2 hands-free driving assist in the industry, right? So Blue Cruise not too far behind. Ram is still doing a pretty good job with their advanced cruise control, but still, Super Cruise is still the best in my opinion. Now, if you're gonna wonder if this 55-inch curved screen is gonna distract me, no, it has not. It's not. You get fairly used to it fairly quickly, and yeah, after one day of driving it, it's not overly distractive. You have all your settings and everything that's familiar to you. You set it all up, and then you just don't think about it really. So it's not distracting at all, and 360 camera does a really good job at parking this in parking spots. Really, everything about driving the Escalade is premium. And at the end of the day, you're never gonna get bored of that nice sound. All right, I'm gonna park it before I get pulled over. Now, I hope you've been enjoying this review. And unfortunately, it has to come to an end, and this is where I conclude it. I give you my pros and my cons. And I wanna start by saying that I've thoroughly enjoyed the Cadillac Escalade for the week that I've had it. And my family and I, we've been driving it. We took my kid biking and such. So much room. But I'm gonna start with some cons here. And I know I said that plural, but I really just have one. I think that regardless of the executive package, that second row should be powered adjustments for those passengers. It should have power adjustment. Now I know the Infiniti QX80 does like a tablet style, kind of what you have here in the front of the Escalade. They have it in the back for adjusting their position. I think that's kind of cool. Okay, make it maybe look more advanced, a little bit more technological. And that's basically it for my cons. I love the looks of it. I think when you're thinking full-size luxury SUV, this is what you're thinking about. I think the hottest thing to get would be a full black Cadillac Escalade, black rims with obviously this nice sporty black grille. I think that is the hottest luxury segment SUV. But as my opinion, that is 100% objective. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Comment below. Price, I'm not mentioning it as a con because they're all the same prices. It's not, you know, I got to compare apples to apples. So doing so, what do you guys think? Comment below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.